So without further ado, Mr. Franklin has an idea who Mr. Sands is, and maybe he can give us some insight on what to do. Yeah, she had a big black horse and a red and black cloak. But look, she's still over there by the gate. Hey, come here, you hooligan. Go get the picture back, will you?
Oh.
You got it back? It seems that your generation isn't a complete decline after all. Good work. I hope I'll be able to restore the picture. Do you want a copy of this? I'll make one for you. Yes, I would like a copy of it. And yes, not all of our generation is as bad as the news play it out to be. Here's a copy of the photograph. Miss Packard called when you were out chasing that hooligan. Apparently she found the rental invoice. Good luck. Why purple? Why orange and purple? Like, that's a tree. Alright, Miss Packard. Now, dear, I have the rental invoice. See? The center has a post office box in Silverglade Village. Does that help? Here, take the invoice. It's months old. Don't you need to save that? Alright. Good luck with your research, dear. Oh, you're off to see Elizabeth? Do tell her I said hi. Elizabeth is such a lovely girl, and always welcome here in Fir Grove.
Elizabeth, Elizabeth! I got things to tell you.
Welcome back. Have you found a photo? What have you found? Jeez. A photo of Mr. Sands? I see. And this? This might be the number of his post office box. Good detective work. Thank you. I'm apparently destined. Wait a minute. This looks like... There's a man known as Mr. Sands who looks frighteningly like the person in this picture. Mr. Sands is the leader of Dark Horror, an organization with an even darker agenda than that of GED. Have you shown this to Alex? She would really be interested in seeing this photo. She has fought against Mr. Sands before, you see, and that has a deep hatred of him. She will be able to tell whether or not this man in this photo is Mr. Sands this man in this photo and Mr. Sands are the same person. So that's a valid question, because Miss Packard talks about Mr. Sands as a decent human being. So if it is the same person, like, what changed? Or, I don't know. Because you would think an evil person totally in their soul would be constantly aggressive in every part of his life. But he doesn't seem to be too aggressive in that regard. I don't know where I'm going. Yeah, but aggressive in all formats. So the idea that he never raised the rent on her is actually pretty decent. So we have no idea how long she's been living there. So if she could have literally started paying rent at like $100 a month, and then the place grew, and if she's still paying the $100 a month, everybody else could be paying like $900. So that was an interesting aspect that I didn't remember. So is it potentially some sort of love interest, or just maybe he was a friend to her, or what? I don't know if this is ever talked about later on. Alex, what have you found? A picture of John Sandman? Let me see. Oh no, that's him. Mr. Sands. How did I miss that? Am I really that naive? So this means Mr. Sands is Justin's grandfather, and that Justin could be in real danger. Right.
Eh.
You have an idea? Tell me about it. Okay, so you got the address to this post office box that belongs to Mr. Sands? Really? That's a great lead. So what's the plan? A letter? That sounds very exciting. Okay, so let me see if I get this straight. You're suggesting that we send a fake letter to Mr. Sands' post office box just to make him go there, get it. That way you can watch the office from a distance and check if he really actually lives and is active in Jorvik. Wait, I think I have an empty envelope on me. Who has an empty envelope on them? Here it is, and voila, a pencil. The only thing I don't have is a stamp. Ask Judy at the stable. I bet she has some. You have an envelope and a pen and apparently paper, but not the stamp. Everything but the kitchen sink, right? Judy, what are you up to? Do I have a postage stamp? Sure, I sure do. Okay, here's your stamp. Let me put it in for you. There, you will find the mailbox right by the gate of the manor. Listen, when you go to Silverglade Village, whatever you do, don't get too close to this man. He might look like a dried up old fogey, but he is actually the most dangerous man on the island. I don't doubt that we could totally kick his butt, but now is not the time. Here, take these binoculars. Stay at the end of the square and sit down outside the inn. You might have to wait a bit before Mr. Sand appears. Hopefully this scrumpled old plum won't take too long. With every second we stay here, we put ourselves at more risk. Okay. Alex, I saw the old man. He didn't look very old, though. He's like Doofenshmirtz. I know I didn't say his name right, but he didn't look that old. So Mr. Sands and Mr. Sandman are the same person. That explains it. Now we know what kind of tragedy Justin is involved in. He's not only gone to visit his grandfather, but is probably going to be held prisoner to get brainwashed by Darkcore. We now know why the Baroness has been acting so strange as well. She was in fact married to Mr. Sands himself, the slimiest slug in all Jorvik. I can see why she doesn't want that out in the open. Okay. While you were down at the village, both Godfrey and the Baroness arrived. Let's see what the Baroness has to say about all this. Let's see. Oh dear, this is embarrassing. I'll explain everything. Of course I will. The way I've been behaving, it's simply not acceptable behavior for someone like me. I can only blame it on the constant stress I've been under lately. What with the GED threatening to destroy this vineyard and the island, not to mention the merciless winter. I'm too old for all this. That must be it. It makes me act like a wicked old hag. Let me tell you girls what happened. Alright. Young Linda Chanda works for me a few hours a week, helping with filing, reading to me from my favorite mysteries, and other odd jobs not handled by Godfrey or Carney. She has quite a head on her shoulders, your friend. Equally adept with numbers and writing. Curious, too. Curious to a fault. The other day I took Linda away from the usual work around the manor to Silverglade to clean up in the attic. It was a grave mistake. I apparently had an old wedding photo lying around, one of me and the man that used to be my husband, Mr. Sandman. You'll have to excuse me, but I just can't say his new name. I just can't. Anyway, Linda recognized my husband as as that man. She confronted me and I panicked. Nobody could find out. It would destroy this family's reputation that's been built over hundreds of years. I left her there and had Godfrey lock Linda in the castle to keep her from telling anyone. It was a rash and foolish plan. I'm ashamed, truly, I am. But despite my best efforts, it seems these shadows from the past are coming into the light. Now that you're caught up in this tragic tale, I suppose I owe you the full story. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little. It's a long and painful story, one I'm not yet prepared to tell in full, but since you found out this much on your own, I owe you more. My first husband was not the man I thought I had married. He was dangerous. We eloped. My parents never approved of the union. At first our life together was pure bliss, but then he changed. Or rather, he became confident in sharing things that he had been kept hidden when he came courtin'. Dark things. He believed. He heard voices from the sea. They promised him eternal life and power, and this voice, he said that it chose me. This voice from the sea had a role for me to play in his plan. When I realized I was with this child, I left the marriage at once. I had the child in secrecy and gave it up for adoption so that a horrible man would never know his wicked parents. I had the child in secrecy and gave it up for adoption so that that horrible man would never have to know his wicked parents. We're talking about Thomas. I don't think Thomas is a horrible man, so I think that's a typo. My parents were supportive. They've helped me to bury that dark chapter in my life. When Linda showed me the photograph, all those terrible memories came flooding back. That's why I acted as I did. That and that girl Sabine. Ever since she came to the stables, my head has been clouded with dark thoughts. Angry thoughts. Only now that she's gone is my mind clearing up. Now, Alex, Isla, if there's anything I can do to make amends for the way I treated poor Linda, just ask. Okay, I don't think Thomas is supposed to be a horrible man. So yeah, I think that had to have been a... yeah. The Baroness is powerful ally. Her family is one of the most influential in Jorvik. She's the top sponsor of writing events in the area, and even makes the writing arena free to the community. And of course she has a banging library that makes Linda drool, literally. Normally I'd go full revenge mode on anyone who locked up one of my best friends, but given the circumstances, I think we should take the Baroness at her word. Mr. Sands and the Dark Riders have a way of getting into people's heads. Huh. I say we accept Baroness's apology and keep her secret. Interesting. So they're like, do they do some sort of hive mind? Baroness, just wanted to let you know that we're willing to forgive you. Thank you for your understanding. I do hope we can let these unpleasant memories stay where they belong, in the past. If there's anything I can do to assist you, do not hesitate to ask, and tell dear Linda when you see her that if she'll have me, she can continue her job at double the pay. I would hate to lose an assistant like her. You should let your friend out of the castle. Yeah, maybe, just a little bit. Godfrey has the key. Have you been feeding her? Godfrey. Certainly, miss. I am sure I have the key somewhere here in this pocket. No? Maybe here? There's the key. I always hide it in my shoe, but I just forgot this time. You can hide it in your shoe and you don't feel it? Here you are. You and Alex can ride down to the castle, unlock the castle door, and let your friend out. I'm sure she would absolutely love it. You freed me. Thanks. Isla, wasn't it? From the runestone? I see Alex didn't scare you off. I'm glad you decided to stick around. I'm sure you are. You two are not going to believe what I discovered about the Silverglade family. The Baroness used to be married to our old nemesis, Mr. Sands. She went through a great pain to bury her past. And when I confronted her about the evidence, she panicked and she had me locked in the castle. What's that? You already knew about the secret marriage? How much did I miss? You'll have to catch me up. Yeah, you missed out on a lot, girl. So the Baroness eloped with Mr. Sands for a brief, tumultuous marriage. I hope I said that right. Shortly after, she had a child, Thomas, who she tried to keep secret from her dark ex-husband. Thomas grew up without knowing his heritage and had a son, Justin. Flash forward to the present, Mr. Sands learns about his protege. I don't know. Progeny? I should know how to read that, but... and sent his Dark Rider, Sabine, to bring Justin to meet him. For what reason, we can't speculate, but it can't be good. I doubt it. Combined all that with the fact that the runestones have been lighting up with Pandoric energy, and it's clear that the Soul Riders are going to need all the help they can get. Alex. Hi, Alex. Look, I get it, Isla. You came to Jorvik to ride horses and relax, not take on Dark Riders, kidnappers, and family curses. And things are only going to get more dangerous from here on out. Linda and I are Soul Riders, saving the world. That is sort of our job. But like Linda said, we're going to need help. It's clear that you care about this island. You're brave. You've got a good head on your shoulders. I hope I have a head on my shoulders. And you have a real gift with working with horses. That means something. The bond between a horse and its rider. It's just magic. Bottom line, Isla, we need riders like you. Will you help us? And if I said no? I knew we could count on you. This is going to be great. Just wait until you learn about the ancient evil squid god thing. Seriously though, things are going to get weird. But you won't be alone. You're riding with the Soul Riders now. Speaking of the Soul Riders, we really need to regroup if we're going to deal with the troubles ahead. The four of us are a sisterhood. Our powers are the strongest when we're together. It's been a while since we've heard from Lisa and Anne. We'll find them soon. I can't wait for you to meet them. In the meantime, keep doing your thing. Train with Extra and work on your bond. Get to know Elizabeth and the Keepers of Aden. Explore Jorvik. And most of all, help people. This island. Its people and its horses. That's what we fight for. See you around. See you around the runestones, Isla. Oh, we're still going. Hi, Linda. Continuing on.